a little bit of something with Isaac this season. Obviously,
very different
for you, Penny. But just talk about both. And I love the moment that we finally got that moment between Charly and Isaac, which I love. So if you could both kind of talk about the ups and downs of Isaac so far this season, because there's been some good stuff.
I mean, yeah, I definitely come in. Where's the camera?
They're all over.
All around.
Yeah.
Look
Everywhere. Oh my gosh, hello. Yeah, I definitely start off hating Isaac because of my past, and I really hope that the audience gets to see the journey that she takes and like kind of the self-reflection that she ends up making with her own view. And I hope that people really like see the softer part of her at the end. She definitely has some self-discovery that she makes. And her and Isaac have a great kind of friendship bond at the end of the day, I think.
Wow, that's actually very interesting because I find that Claire and Isaac, they've had the same kind of relationship but in different places with this arc, starting out as friends and admiration and respect, and then betrayal, which is anger and hurt and not trusting, and then to love, and then falling in love again, to be disappointed, and who knows what else is going to happen after that.
I mean, I think it's interesting to even just have any sort of connection with someone that doesn't have emotion. And I think this season, like he was saying that Mark was saying that he hasn't really been seen since season 2 without his robot costume on. And it really gives you another look at like just how difficult it is to, you know, have some sort of connection or be on a ship or have some sort of relationship with someone that doesn't have emotion. And he's so good at like being a robot with no robot costume on. I was so impressed. That is a hard thing to do as an actor, to like act like you have emotion, or not have emotion, but have a face and emotion. Yeah. So yeah, it's a cool concept. I'm glad we got to see him without his robot costume a lot this season.
How is for this show now? You guys have so much to do with special effects and CG and the keyboards in front of you and any guns, lasers you have or whatever. How hard is that to dealing with your acting process and having to do with your emotions and everything too? Does it get in the way, or is it distracting? Or does it make you have to try harder, or how do you deal with that?
At this point, with Claire, and I always thought I had the coolest pieces of equipment because I have the scanner, I have the medi pad, I have everything, you know, at my beck and call, and it could be intimidating. However, it's become secondhand for me now, so it doesn't interfere. The incorporation is I only want to use something if it is moving the story forward. I don't want to just be busy with it. So it's been an enhancement.
I was gonna say, other than having a little light thing that you end up pointing at like all the crew members and like basically blinding them, the explosions that they do on set that are for real really help with the acting, because the minute you hear like a boom, it's easier for everyone to react, that kind of thing. That's all I can really attest to. We're talking about like the I don't know, you can kind of...
We've asked with the technology and all the different things that work out, how does that enhance or take away from how the difficulty of performing as an actor?
For you.
I always find it, obviously I had to prove myself as a science expert before I got the part. I don't know anything about science, but I always find it funny with the pyrotechnics they use on the bridge when you get hit. I think, and it's across the board.
Yeah.
It's Star Trek as well. You just think their circuitry would be a little bit more sort of tightly efficient, because it blows on the first instant of any hit. And what are the deflectors doing if that's going?
Sparks everywhere.
Right, they're meant to be stopping any sort of intrusive explosion before it gets anywhere near inside the ship. But it looks good, so
It does look good.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I always wonder if do you watch the shows afterwards? I know some actors don't like to watch the shows, but you add so many extra effects to the show. To me, I would just be dying to see the finished product.
It's an event. Product. Yeah, it's a huge event for us as a group of actors. Most of us watch it together.
Yes.
And we
for those
watch
of us
it as
in
fans.
LA, I wish we were in LA.
I know.
But we watch them as fans. We don't watch them as, let's sit down and critique our work.
Yeah.
We sit down, we watch them, and we enjoy we enjoy each other.
Well, and you know, if you're not, I mean, I'm guilty of, if I'm not particularly in an episode, I'll skim the script and go, okay, well, I'm not really in that one. And then I look forward to actually watching it when it comes on TV.
All makes sense together, yeah. And just the special effects alone really do make the show. And you don't know, like you see a green screen, and every episode is like a completely different like color scheme, different like world, planet. It's so interesting to watch.
Yeah, Brandon has just brought our game up way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Insanity.
We're hunting for some Emmys this year, so let's see what happens.
That's hard for science fiction. Let me tell you from Star
With
Trek.
that,
It's
there's
like
been
never.
a tonal shift. Like there's been, like for instance, there used to be pranks. There's not so many pranks anymore. That like the not slapstick, but you know the overt humor seems to be missing from the scripts.
Well, I kind of made a comparison earlier that the 3 seasons are a bit like preschool, middle school, high school. You know, we're getting a bit more mature. We've had our fun. We're still going to have some fun, but it's going to be a bit more like a bit classier, I guess.
I mean, Scott made me laugh on that freaking bridge every single day. I was trying to like hold a straight face. So he definitely still cracks jokes all the time in there, even in the scripts and everything. And then also Bortus, I think, has a lot of the comedic kind of
but it's sprinkled with comedy, and it always has been. And our very first meeting with Seth was to make sure that we give you a reality of these people who happen to be 400 years in the future. And if something is funny, it doesn't cease being funny in the future. So we were never to think of it as slapstick or anything like that, or spoof. It had to be that the comedy rested in the reality of a situation that just happens to be funny.
Well, the blessing of the show has always been that the jokes are funny, as opposed to a lot of other science fiction where the funny is not really that funny.
Goofy.
We have to wrap, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Yes,
Good luck
thank
for the
you.
season 4. Yeah.
Absolutely.